Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Rising. This is your reading for Gemini season. So happy birthday to you. Are you seeing the magic in things, or have things become a little bit dull? As you well know, those that have been watching the Tarotscopes for a while, if it is your birthday month, I pull an extra card. And I'm going to start with that card this month instead of the tarot, because your card is Labradite, gorgeous Labradite. And the message is indeed, see the magic. Such a gorgeous, gorgeous energy here. And that is something that is very much echoed with the Page of Cups too. All around the imagination, he's often the poet or the actor card, because he is able to allow his imagination and his daydreaming to run supreme. We have this little fish jumping unexpectedly out of this cup, and this hat that almost turns into a stream of water. So he's allowing his creative ideas just to flow. And that is something that is very key here, particularly if you're one of those people that dreads their birthdays and thinks, oh God, another year around the sun, or is a bit of a challenging time for you, or things have just become a little bit stagnant or stuck and feeling a little bit commonplace or a little bit complacent. Ask yourself, where is the whimsy? Where is the magic? What are the things that excite me? The important thing about magic is that it allows us to see beyond the realms of reality. Reality is obviously very important. We live in reality. We live on the earth. That's all great stuff. But sometimes we need to give ourselves this ability to believe in fantasy, to see the extraordinary, because that invokes within us and excites within us this ability to dream big, to go beyond the realms of what is ordinarily perceived. And that is what you're very much being encouraged to do. Now, this may sound a little bit grandiose, and in some ways it is, and it's meant to be. But in the application to your own life and your own world, some of the questions to ask is, well, have I been limiting myself a little bit? Have I been putting the glass ceiling on this? Have I allowed myself to get a little bit inhibited or boxed in by my circumstance? And that could be in work, that could be in home, that could be in your relationships, however it may look. Have you just allowed yourself to become a little bit complacent, or to stop dreaming, or to stop seeing the bigger picture? It's only our own thoughts and the restrictions that we put on the reality that bring things back, that stop allowing us to explore and do all of the wonderful things that we need to. Therefore, it's a great time to vision board. It's a great time to look at every area of your life and think, actually, how could I make this even more magical? How can I make this even more whimsical? This isn't about escaping reality, but it is about pushing the boundaries of it. And that is so, so beautifully summarized in this triptych of cards, where we've got the Queen of Swords, the Moon, and the Nine of Cups, the Lord of Satisfaction. The Moon has been showing up a lot this season. We had it for Leo and Aries, and we've got the full moon in Sagittarius at the end of Gemini season. And the Queen of Swords, the fact that she's positioned like this, she has this wonderful, wonderful ability to cut through things, to be very discerning, very linear, just to be able to understand things at its core, to cut away all of the superfluous fluff and get to the truth of the matter. She's like Occam's razor. The most simple solution is usually the right one. The fact that she is there peering through the moon with a hand held out and a sword talks about, well, let me take a step back. The moon is often about fears, about illusions, about, we see these deadly nightcaps, these are little mushrooms right here, and we've got this lobster coming out of the subconscious mind. So the fact that we've got these nightcaps, these mushrooms, which are hallucinogenic, is indicative of a lack of reality, a loss of reality. It's interesting that this word reality is coming through so much. And therefore, the nightcaps might be talking about connecting with this dreamlike state, being able to go beyond ourselves, but so too, sometimes the danger of illusions is that they're fear-based, that they are detached from reality. Sometimes we worry about things and then they come or they happen and you think, oh, that wasn't so bad at all. It's the narratives that we play in our head that are very often our own worst enemy. And the wonderful thing about the Queen of Swords is she can recognize that and is very clear on that and just thinking, no, this is a narrative that I am leaning into. This isn't a reflection of reality. So it's very, very, very clear this month that your mind creates your reality. Loving your Tarotscope so far? Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so that you never miss a reading. Drop your favorite emoji or share your thoughts in the comments. We love hearing from you. And check out the pinned comment below to find your rising and moon signs for a full 360 view of your season ahead. You'll also find a quick link to sign up for email alerts, so you're always in the loop when a new Tarotscope drops. Now let's get back to your reading. So if you're finding yourself in a position that you don't necessarily want to be in, or that you want to adjust things, or that you wish things were other, then the universe is very much placing things into your lap and saying, okay, well, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to change your reality? How are you going to change your perception? How can you cut through all of the lies or the fears or all of these unhelpful illusions and lean into much more of these fantasies that aren't, as I keep expressing and keep reiterating, these aren't about it's not wishful thinking. This is not what's going on. It's not everything will be fine. I'm sure it will be fine as long as I cross my fingers and send enough petitions to the universe, then everything will land my way. That's not what this is about, but it is about being able to identify and recognize, have things got a little bit small in my mind? Have I allowed myself to dream big, to play big, and to be ambitious? And if not, then how are you going to readjust that? Because the wonderful thing about this triptych is, as the Queen of Swords is able to see through the moon and the illusions that it might create in our life, she's looking directly at the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups, as I mentioned, is the Lord of Satisfaction. It's the trophy room. It's those things of which we should be really proud. It's feeling satisfied, at times smug, maybe even arrogant. But hey, who cares? Maybe this is something that needs to be leaned into a little bit of, do you know what? I'm doing really, really well. And instead of just going back for a moment, if you are one of those people that dreads your birthday, then really focus on, actually, what am I really proud of? What have I managed to achieve in this year that I think I need to give myself a giant pat on the back for? And if there are things of, oh, I'm not quite where I expected, I'm not quite where I expected to be, that's a mouthful, then what are you going to do about it? How can you expand the parameters of your mind so that it can happen? Think big, dream big. These are such important lessons here. I'm just going to pop back for a moment to the middle of your reading, and you've got the Wheel of Fortune, which is a really lovely thing to see. Sometimes the Wheel of Fortune can indicate quite rapid change, and change that sometimes feels a little out of our control or a bit topsy-turvy, let's say. But here it seems to be welcome change. Recognizing this is something that I said to Aries, I believe, but remembering what goes up must come down, what's down will inevitably go up. So understanding that everything is cyclical. So if you're finding yourself in a point of frustration, then recognize, hey, it's got to go up at some point. And if you're at a high point, enjoy it, relish it while it lasts. Indeed, we're talking about cycles, and it is another year around the sun for you, Gemini. So these themes, and I would really, one of the great things to do on a birthday is think about, where was I last birthday, and what has changed within this year, because the only constant is change. And yes, there may be things of, oh, I wish I'd achieved that by now, I wish that was different by now. It's not a process of lack, it's really recognizing, hey, actually I'm a bit more aware of myself. I'm a bit more kind. I've managed to do up the house a little bit. Even the small wins, just recognizing those things too. So using mind over matter in a very positive aspect. As we know, Gemini is an air sign, as is the Queen of Swords, and the Queen of Swords represents air at its best at times, sometimes at its worst, but in this instance, very much its best. And that is all about mental agility and knowing that your mind shapes your reality, as I said, so use it for good. Does that help? Does that resonate? Let me know in the comments below. As ever, happiest of birthdays. Want to learn more about the tarot? Well, I've got you covered. I'm releasing weekly cards where I explore each of the major arcana in turn and giving you the insights of how to read the cards for yourself. So go and check out the video library at Fiongal Official in order to do that. But until next season, have a wonderful, wonderful month. Have a wonderful, wonderful birthday, and I shall see you next time. Bye for now, Gemini.